Hi and welcome to episode 102 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law. I'm the founder of This Reportage and This Reportage Family, and I'm a photographer too. I really enjoyed talking to the fab Jess Lycoops for the podcast this week. Originally from Belgium and now based in Denmark, Jess has been in our top 100 family photographers worldwide on This Reportage Family for the past 2 years in a row, and she shares so many great bits of advice in the episode today, including why it's important to put yourself out there and challenge yourself, her favourite lens for documenting families, Instagram stories, the importance of a good mentor, our Netflix synopsis game, tips for if you're just starting out as a documentary family photographer, the story behind one of her specific Reportage Family Awards, and much more. Hey Jess, how you doing?
Hi Ellen, I'm fine. What about you?
Yes, good. I'm well as well, thank you. It's I don't know. Again, I should stop talking about the weather, but it's a good little intro, I guess, and a little sign of where we are and what time. So it's very very cold here at the moment in England. How about with you? 'Cause you're in Denmark, aren't you?
Yes, I am in Denmark, and today is a very grey day, and it tends to be pretty cold because of all the wind we have in Denmark.
All the what?
Wind blowing.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. I bet it's a lot colder than it is here, actually. What kind of temperature is it with you?
Oh, good question. I think it is about 5-7 degrees at the moment. It's not that bad.
No, that isn't too bad. How cold does it go in your winter?
Oh, Ellen, such technical questions.
You're like, I thought I was going to be asked about photography. I'm not a weather woman. That's funny.
It can become up to -10 degrees, but often even if it's -2-3 degrees, it can feel colder because of it's a flat land, and we have the coast all around Denmark. You also have in England, of course.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I've never been to Denmark though. I'd love to go. Do you?
Yes.
Do you often get snow then in your winter?
We do get snow, but not that often.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So 1-2 times a year. Some winters, last winter, there was actually pretty much, and it was nice during isolation when everyone was home, so you had something to do with the kids outside.
Oh yeah, that's handy. That is handy.
That was fun. So, but it's not always. So.
Okay. I think in my head I always thought Denmark like being always kind of snowy winter, so I'm totally wrong. I am wrong there. My geography's not
more
very
north.
good. Oh, okay. Well, no. Right. Cool. So I live in Cornwall in England, and we virtually never get snow. You know, about once every 5 years or something. We bought some sleds for our kids, and they've never been used. It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame.
Oh,
Have you ever been over to England?
Yes, I have. Many years ago.
Okay. Where did you go?
It was around London, but it was because of my brother playing football, and he would have a camp 1 week out there, so we were there.
Oh, nice.
With my family, and others. I have been in Ireland, to Dublin.
Oh, Dublin's fab, isn't it? I like Dublin.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh yeah, I'll be going in next month there's a wedding photography conference, Doc Day, which
yes.
Yeah, Reportage is partnered with. So yeah, it's cool over there.
Cool.
Very cool. Very expensive to drink over there though. It's expensive.
Yes, but Denmark is too. So.
Oh, is it? Is it really? Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
I'd love to go. I think the closest. No, I was going to say. I do say stupid things. I don't know why I say so stupid things, but we've been watching The Bridge, the TV series, which is.
Yes,
have you ever seen that? Yes,
it
is about 15 years old, isn't it, or something? It's quite old, or 10 years old.
Yes, years go fast.
Okay, yeah, they do. Don't they? So that's partly based in Denmark, isn't it, and partly based in Sweden?
Yes, it's 50-50.
That's cool. It's a good series, isn't it? It's good.
It's very lovely. I really loved and enjoyed the series. It's really strong, but we have some strong series here in Denmark.
Oh, that's cool. What are the recommendations? Do you have any other Danish?
Oh, you have to see The Chestnut Man.
Ooh, is that a series or a film?
It's a series on Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool. What's it about?
It's about a serial killer, and he leaves some chestnut mans with the bodies that get found. It's a really strong series. So if you like The Bridge, I think you will like it too.
That's great. That's a great recommendation. I'll put that on the list. Definitely. Awesome. Cool. So Jess, how did you end up living in Denmark? Because you're originally from Belgium. Is that right?
Yes, I am from Belgium.
Cool.
The long story, the short story.
Long is good. Long story is good.
No, so I have a Belgian mom and dad, and my mom moved to Denmark when I was about 5 years old, and I lived together with my father.
Okay.
So I visited Denmark twice a year, the north of Denmark. And when I was finishing at university, I met my husband, who is Danish, and then I moved up to Denmark.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's not that long.
No, that wasn't the longest story. That's funny. And you met your husband. You say at university. Is that what? Were you training to be a chemist? Because I read that you're a trained chemist. Is that right? Yes,
I was doing chemistry, but I didn't meet him at the university. I met him through my mom, actually.
Oh, okay, right, cool. Cool. And talking about your photography, then, how did you become a documentary photographer? What is your tale there? How did you go from training in chemistry to being a photographer?
I think I started to dip into the documentary photography in 2016, 17. It was, I have been doing a PhD in organic chemistry here in Denmark.
Right, okay.
But I was not feeling to fit in. And at the same time, I also got my 2 oldest kids. So there were a lot of questions about who am I, what do I want with my life, who am I as a mom, how do I combine work, and I was missing the creative part. And I learned really a lot about myself in that period, that I need time for myself, I need alone time. And I couldn't see myself in the chemist's big corporate jobs. So after my PhD, I knew I don't want to move on in that direction. And then I have been teaching a bit on what is it called in England? It must be high school.
Okay, yeah. Teaching what? Chemistry. Yes.
Chemistry and mathematics.
Oh, wow. Okay, very technical.
Yes, it is. It's a total different thing, but yeah. I knew I wanted something else, and I wanted to be on my own. And photography I found out, was kind of a filter for me.
Oh, okay. In what way? What do you mean?
An example can be I have difficult times of being together with a lot of people normally. Okay. But when I have my camera with me, I can socialize and I can be in the room. It's difficult to explain.
No, I understand that feeling totally. Yeah, I totally feel like that. And people who have photographed like this reportage parties and things, one of them has specifically said how they really wanted a photograph so they could just enjoy it more, and they'd feel, I totally understand that.
Yes.
I feel like
I did it actually also with the wedding of my brother.
Oh, really? Yes. Oh, cool.
Because he asked, do you want to make some portraits? I said, fine, but if it's okay for you, I would like to photograph the whole wedding because it's more easy for me to be around.
I understand that. Yeah, I feel like that as well. I totally get that. I totally get that. And so you said you were teaching in high school. So then how did you, had you picked up a camera from an early age? Was photography something you'd always been into?
Yes, I was already interested in it as a kid, and I actually was considering to study photography. But when you talked with the school, it was, it's difficult to get jobs. It's hard to make a living of it. And at that time, I grew up as my father, who had a normal daytime job with a good pension and all those things. So I thought that's the way to go in life.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's partly breaking up with those tasks that you can earn an income in another way. And when it's funny, when I got my dog, I had a point and shoot, and it could not capture sharp images of her moving around.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I bought my first DSLR.
Oh, okay, cool.
Canon 350.
Oh, cool. Oh, yes. My first camera was a 500D, so very similar. Like it was the like Rebel 2 or something. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Yeah. What year was this? This must have been, it was a while ago now, isn't it?
Oh, it must have been 2005 or 6.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I remember getting photos of my dog. That was one of the first subjects as well, actually. Yeah.
Yes. Most people start with their kids, but for me it was a dog.
Well, you must have some nice images of your dog. That's cool. And
Yes.
so then how did you go from those photos of your dog to because you do lots of different genres of photography, don't you? You do, as well as your family work, you do brand and weddings as well.
Yes.
What did you start with out of those?
Before, when it still was a hobby, I was still dabbing into different kind of things. I had some model shoots. I had did some shoots for a shop with clothes for
Cool.
kids. Dabbed into some art photography until I stumbled on the documentary part, and it just fitted nice in. And I started with the family documentary. That was my way in.
Oh, when was this? When was this?
That was 16, 17, the family work.
Okay, right, cool. Okay, so yeah. Well, actually, I forget what year we're in. That's about 6-7 years ago, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Okay. Yes. And did you find that you loved it straight away?
Yes, I did. Because you, as an introvert, you can be outgoing, but you can also just look at the scene. And in a family, there are not that many people you have to interact with. And I really love the idea of not having to post them. So it was just spending time together. That's really fitted really well for my personality.
Oh, I totally understand. I feel the same way, totally, in that way. Yeah, totally. How did you get your first family? Was it friends, your first family? Or?
Yes. So I practiced at home, and then I had some friends, and I did a mentoring session over 3 months. I think it was with Joshua Dont in Belgium.
Yes, cool. Yeah, cool. I bet that was good.
So that was really cool.
She's great.
She's really great, and I did a lot of family shoots through our mentoring. It was really the foundation of my work.
Oh, that's really cool. Great stuff. And did you have experience did you build your own website and things, or did you outsource that?
No, I did it myself.
Oh, you did? Wow, that's
budget.
Great.
Yes.
It looks really good though, as well.
Oh, thank you. I'm still not. Yeah. Actually, here in January, I'm using to fine tune it a bit, and I have to update my portfolio also on it. It takes time.
It does, doesn't it? It's a good time of the year to do that, though. It is a good time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so with your family work, and you mentioned you shot what was it like shooting your brother's wedding, by the way? That must have been a cool experience.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah. It was actually this last summer.
Oh, okay. Last summer. Oh, okay. Were they able to have a lot of guests, or?
Yes, it was in June, and they just started to open up for it because I still had cancellations on wedding work in May. And then in June, we could party again.
Yes, those are good times, weren't they? Did he like the images? He's not complained to the photographer about the images?
No, he's not complaining. I'm very happy for that. Maybe I have some complaints, but he has not shouted them out.
He's not mentioned it. No, I'm sure it was brilliant. That was good. No, that's cool. I'm thinking I've shot friends' weddings, but I've not shot a family member's wedding. Were you extra? Were you more? Do you get nervous anyway, or for shoots?
Yes. You do. Always.
Yeah, good.
It's getting better though.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. But were you extra nervous for shooting your brother's wedding, or were you less nervous than like a normal?
Less nervous because I know what his expectations are.
Okay.
And I know he's not a difficult man, and his wife is neither.
Oh, that's good.
So they were not planning on hiring a photographer.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Less expectations. Yeah. Did they feed the photographer? Did they feed you?
Yes, they did. And I was also sitting with between the rest of the family.
Oh, that's good. It's good. Did you take any selfies? Because you're an important family. No. Are you? So you're not in their photos at all?
No. Actually, one guest has taken one image of me.
Oh, just the one image. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool though. And just also on the subject of weddings and your family, how do you split it? Do you shoot more families or shoot more weddings, or how do you work your business?
I think it's 50-50, but last year it was more weddings.
Right, okay.
Both my own weddings and second shooting for someone else.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
But that's good in general that it's 50-50. It keeps your work really quite varied then, I guess, doing it that way.
Yes, and I like that. Yes. That's also why I start to do more and more portraiture for small businesses, for mainly women.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a nice break of the other work, because I've always hated portraiture, and I thought I was really bad at it and I would never do it. But I actually enjoy it because, again, it's the time about spending together, talking about having a business, and yeah.
That's cool. You said so. You thought you wouldn't like it and stuff. What made you go into that portraiture then? Was it a proper challenge to yourself to do this because you didn't really?
Yes, it always
it was.
is.
Okay. Wow,
Yes.
that's cool.
Because things I think I will never do and things that I feel are hard to do, they are an extra challenge to do and push my own boundaries. And probably, when you're a photographer, people don't always look what kind of photographer you are. So they ask, can you do this for me? Even that's not showing on your website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. It's great to have another, again, keeps your work more varied, but also is another kind of different revenue stream, which I think a lot of people have realized, especially with the pandemic. It's good to have different baskets. Yeah, because you never know what's going to happen.
Definitely.
But I think that's a great approach that you have there to do things in life proactively that are challenges that I think that's a great way to go through life. I really do.
Yes, it was the same with wedding work. I would never do weddings.
Yeah. How did you get your first one then? Or was that again just someone asking, that's seen your family work or something?
It was a friend of mine. She asked if I could do her wedding. And I came to say yes. So I started searching and connecting with other photographers so I could follow them along and second shoot them. So I was a bit prepared.
Yeah, good idea.
And then from one comes the other, and I started to enjoy it more and more.
That's cool. Well, cool. I'm looking forward to shooting my first. I'm not shooting till March the 5th, I think. So I've got a bit of a break. How about you? When's your next wedding?
I have to look. I think it's in May.
Okay,
that's
nice.
My first one.
Great. Will you have family shoots before then?
Yes, I have some, but it's the silence period at the moment.
Okay, right. This is a time of year a bit quieter. Do you do when you do your family shoots? Do you do a mix of kind of shorter shoots and also day in the life, or do you generally just do longer shoots? How do you work your family work?
The most popular ones are the 2 hours and the 4 hours.
Okay.
And I do both full documentary, but if they want a bit of a mix with some portraits in, I do them too.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. Best of both worlds. Oh, best of both worlds. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I don't market with the part of the lifestyle.
Okay, right. Yeah, that makes sense. But sometimes they will ask you. That's cool. Yeah. And talking about your family work, one of your specific Reportage Family Awards that I love is the duck in the mini bathtub image. Yeah.
Yes.
It's what I mean, which is so cool. It's just such a cool graphic image of a child looks to be having a bath in a little kind of tub, is it? Or a big bowl?
It is.
Big wash, but yeah.
It's a little bathtub, and it actually is my son.
Oh, lovely. Cool. That's cool. And he's got this, what is that duck on his head?
Well, the duck that is something you can have in the bathroom to store all the small toys for the bath toys. I think it came from IKEA.
Oh, cool. Nice.
But he uses it in the bath. So.
Right. Okay. Cool. And do you remember taking that? I mean, it's just it's a cool abstract. It makes me really smile. I just love the composition of it as well, and all the lines of the tiles and the high key. Yeah, it's so cool. Can you tell us more about taking that?
Yes, of course. I have been photographing my kids in the bath before, but normally I would have photographed it always more up front or straight down because of the tiles, because I want them all to be straight. But leaving those compositions from time to time and trying to get the triangle to get some more dynamics in it, to get more flow in the image. So I was just playing around with all the different compositions. I also have something to stand on. So I just
really
play
cool.
around.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I just love that, and it's honestly, I just that image just always makes me really smile whenever I see that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But that's
really
the easy part with your own kids. They don't care anymore.
Yes, they must be used to you having a camera around.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. No, and thank you for talking about it. I love that. I love hearing people talk about the images. When you took it, did you really think that, I really like this and that it was going to be, no, that's cool. So people listening now to head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com, and I'll include that image that Jess just spoke about. Cool, Jess. Should we change tack slightly?
Yes, fine for me.
Do you have that phrase in Denmark? I don't know. Change tack. Is that very?
Good question. I actually don't know.
Okay. No, that's cool.
But that's the problem of not having it as my mother tongue. Now I feel I am not that good in any language because I'm also losing the flow in my own mother language.
Right, but you sound like perfectly fluent in English. How many different languages do you speak then?
3: English, Danish, and Dutch. The Flemish Dutch.
Right. Okay.
And I understand a bit of French, but it's not much.
That's so cool. That is so cool. I wish I could speak other languages. I really do. Are your children kind of bilingual then as well, maybe?
No. They're pretty good in English because of playing games on the computer and YouTube. They really picked it up.
That's cool.
But I've not been raising them up with the Flemish, which is a bit sad for my dad because his English is less good and he's not talking Danish. So. Right.
Okay. Oh, cool. Now, you spoke about them playing video games and getting English from that. Do you play video games with them?
No.
No, do you not know?
I get nervous of playing video games.
Oh, do you really? Nervous of what? Of dying or something?
No, I don't know. It's I can get pretty tense in things, and it just never captured my interest.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. My wife absolutely hates video games. She won't play them at all. I like it, you see. That's why I asked, just on the off chance that you do like it. I do like games. And my son now, he's 7 soon. He's just discovered Minecraft now, and he plays that all the time. Yeah. Do yours play that?
Yes, they do. Even my 5-year-olds.
Oh wow, that's cool. I think it's really good for them. It's so creative. It's really good for their kind of like I can't think of the words now, but like just thinking around out of the box and thinking of different solutions to create things. It's really cool.
Definitely. And what I like the most about it's a place to connect for all 3 boys, because my youngest, he's 5 years old and the next one is 10 and 12.
Okay.
So even there is the age difference, through Minecraft, they still find something to connect on.
That's really cool.
And it's lovely.
Yeah, that's really nice. Wow, 3 boys. That's wow. Wow, cool. You must have a very busy household, 3 boys. That's
yes, but it's cool. I love it.
Oh, I've got one of each. But I've got 5 sisters, so I was the last boy at the end. Yeah. The accident, which I have mentioned before. Yes. Well, let's skip that. I was not meant to be, but that doesn't matter. Right. Jess, yeah. So shall we, do you like, you mentioned that Danish series, which I have to check out. Do you watch much TV in general?
In periods of time. The problem is when I start to watch a series, I really have difficulties to stop watching. So I would keep being up all night.
I get that. Oh, a good box set, a good series is so good though, isn't it? I love being excited about like just what's going to happen. No, sitting down at night and just seeing the next episode. Yes. So we're watching The Sopranos at the moment. I know that's really old, but we never watched it properly. Did you ever watch that?
No, I haven't. My husband has, but I haven't.
It is really good. It is really good. But anyway, so you may know what's coming if you listen to a few of the podcasts.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if I'm good at it because remembering stuff is not always the best, but we
try.
try.
Don't worry. Okay, good. You're up for it. That's great. Cool. So if anyone's listening for the first time, I'm just going to ask Jess a few Netflix or other streaming or even older movies synopses and see if she can get the title from the synopsis. Okay. So your first one, Jess, this is a movie just to let you know. Okay. So 78-year-old Carl Fredrickson travels to Paradise Falls in his house equipped with balloons, inadvertently taking a young stowaway.
No idea.
That is a random synopsis, isn't it? That is random. Okay, so that is it's a Disney film or Pixar film. Is that a clue? Should I just tell you what it is?
Just tell me what it is.
Okay, yeah, sorry. It's called Up. Up. It is called.
I've never heard about it.
Oh, it's really quite beautiful, especially the first 5 minutes. It's actually very sad first 5 minutes, but yes. Anyway, okay. Well, don't worry. That doesn't matter.
No. I know I wouldn't be the best one at this, but
that was a tricky one. I think that was tricky. Okay, this one actually might be harder though. So this is an old film. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. It's an old movie. Okay. So. A criminal pleads insanity and is admitted to a mental institution where he rebels against the oppressive nurse and rallies up the scared patients. Ooh.
I have no clue.
It's an old film with Jack Nicholson in, so it's probably about 25, 30 years old actually, maybe even older.
Yeah, and I think I actually have watched it.
It's a good film. It's based on a book. Yeah. No, okay, so it's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You've got some hard ones here, Jess. This is hard. You do. Sorry. These are hard ones.
It's okay.
Okay. So
now I have to check out those movies.
They are both good. Let's go with final one. Okay. This is quite tricky as well. I don't know why. Sorry. I'm just randomly.
Thank you, Alan.
No, sorry, Jess. Sorry. Final one. A janitor at MIT, I don't know what MIT is, I don't know, anyway, but has a gift for mathematics, but needs help from a psychologist to find direction in his life.
Yes, and this one I have seen.
Cool. what
You're asking for a title, right?
That's funny. It's a good movie, isn't it? It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie. I really loved it.
It's 3 words. The first word is, shall I give you a clue what the first word is? The first word is good. Good.
Yeah.
No. Good.
Goodwill.
Yes.
Goodwill Hunting. No.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Yeah. Boom. Nice.
Cool.
Well done, Jess. No, that is good. I wouldn't have got any of those, I think. So that is really good. That is good. Yeah, that is a good movie. I don't know why I gave you all really older movies then, but just the way it goes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Robin Williams, isn't it? And
yes.
I can't remember the other.
Yeah. I can picture him.
Yes. Yeah, I can picture him as well. That's so bad I can't remember that. But 1 out of 3 is good, Jess. 1 out of 3.
Cool.
It's good. Yeah.
0.
Okay, let's go back to photography and let's go back to your family work especially. And in terms of marketing for you, because again, this is always something that we as photographers are interested in, how do you market yourselves, or what's been your best kind of avenues to get family clients? Do you do a lot of social media or SEO or just word of mouth? How is it for you?
It's a lot Instagram.
Okay.
I had a good marketing revenue from and word to mouth.
That's
also,
always good.
Network also.
A network in what way? With other photographers or?
With other photographers and also locally. Yeah.
That's really good. That's good stuff. Did you when you started as a photographer, did you reach out to local photographers and say hi and stuff, or did it just grow organically, those kind of relationships? Did you reach out on social media or anything, or?
Internationally, I've actually got my first networks internationally. So that's in Denmark.
Okay, cool.
Through the documentary family, DFP.
Oh, yes, cool.
I went to some gatherings and met some awesome people.
It's so good to do that, isn't it? That's
yes,
great.
It is.
Where were those gatherings?
Workshops. One was in, where was the first one we went? Long time ago. I actually can't remember where it was.
Oh, cool. Was that workshops as well, or is it just kind
It was
of a meetup?
Prague.
Oh, nice.
No, it was a meetup. Yeah, it was a meetup.
It's so good to do that kind of thing, isn't it? I just think that's
it
so
really is.
Good. Mm.
And I can remember how insecure I felt in the start, because I was at the start of my journey, and you are meeting all those awesome people you have been seeing on social media and their best work, so you feel really, really small. And it's nice to see that even the really best photographers, they're still humans.
That's cool. Yes, that is so true. And I totally hear your anxiety and nerves and doing that kind of thing. I'm exactly like that. I've always been like that, and it hasn't really changed for me, even though I go to things, quite often. I still feel the same. I still get that anxiety. But if anyone is listening now who maybe hasn't gone to a conference or a meetup or something like that, and who wants to, I really do. As you say, they're such great things, aren't they? And people are so friendly. And as you say, that everyone is just a normal person, and it's really do it. I think if you're listening and haven't gone to something, really, massively recommend it. And you mentioned Instagram there as well, though, and that's been good for you. Do you have any kind of specific Instagram tips or methodology? Do you post at certain times? Do you post certain hashtags or things, or any advice on Instagram?
Instagram it's its own world, isn't it? When I try to be more methodically, I can do it for like a month and then I give up on it. So at the moment I'm actually doing some certain days, certain times, because I have the time. But when things get busy, I sometimes have periods where I really get off Instagram in some time, also because it's overwhelming when you scroll through.
Yes, that is true.
But what worked really well for me was working with influencers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
In what way? Tell us about that. That sounds interesting.
I did, for example, a bird for an influencer, and afterwards we also did 1 year in the life. So I came 4 times to do her family, and she really has given me in that way really a lot of work.
That's a great idea. How did you specifically try and did you reach out to someone with a lot of followers and suggest that kind of thing then?
No, it actually came to me.
Okay.
Through someone, through another influencer I already knew.
Right. That's actually
and sometimes it works and sometimes less.
Yes, I can understand that. It would be maybe a bit hit or miss, but it sounds like that's a clever kind of avenue to maybe proactively look for as well. If as a different way, that does make sense. That's cool. My Instagram, do you use any kind of like scheduling app or software with your Instagram?
Yes, I use Later.
Oh, I use Later as well, actually.
Yes,
it's good, isn't it? Yeah, it is good.
I love it.
That's good. I use that for This Reportage Family and This Reportage Instagram as well, actually.
It works really nice.
I only realised a couple of months though, you can use Facebook Business Center or something, and that does the same thing, doesn't it? Really, or similar, but.
I've heard about it, but I've not went into it myself.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can do it. And I guess it's free that way. So you could schedule things to Facebook and Instagram. But I've been using Later for quite a while now. So I kind of like the way it works. And I like the way it kind of analyzes.
I'm the same.
Yeah. And it kind of analyzes what's good time for you to post as well, I think. Which is quite handy. And so, not sponsored by Later, by the way. Anyone wondering? But it is. It is a good Instagram
Another
app.
thing. Yes, it is. And stories on Instagram are also quite important.
Cool. Yeah.
What I find the most difficult is probably it should be really personal, really showing off yourself, making videos of yourself, and that's something I struggle on really much. I really hate it.
I totally feel you there. I'm the same. I hate looking at my face. Honestly, I hate it. I try not to look at the mirror most days. Honestly, I feel better the less I look at myself. So I can't imagine doing Instagram stories videos. I like watching other people's, but I just can't Imagine doing it. Yeah. Oh, I totally
have difficulties with it too.
we should try and we've got to face that challenge, Jess. Both of us. We should both do it, maybe. Oh, it's so true though, as you say. I agree with you. I think it would be good to be putting more of ourselves and be more personal on those stories and things, and I applaud the photographers who do it.
Yes, especially if you think about it, people have to invite you into their home, into their life. It will definitely help for them to connect with you.
That is so true. Yeah, it's true. Oh, I need to do it more. We've got to do it, Jess. A challenge to us.
Let's do it.
Oh, I need to look into filters though. I swear. I know that sounds funny from someone who's doing reportage. Shouldn't do any filters, but I just honestly, I hate looking at myself. This is good, the podcast, So if anyone's wondering with the podcast, like me and Jess now, we can't see each other. Not that I would love to see you, by the way, but I hate to see myself, so it's good that we're just doing it audio only. I prefer that.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah. It's funny, no worries. It also to be honest, it also helps me concentrate, just on what people are saying. I think when you're not actually watching them as well. So yeah, it's good. It's all good. Anyway, okay, that was funny. I liked that discussion about Instagram stories and ourselves. That is funny. Right, let's do it, Jess. That should be a challenge. We should do a bit more of that behind the scenes of ourselves. Yes. Yeah, because when I have used Instagram stories, I've generally just put some photos up or something, and it's just no point. Because you got your feed for that, haven't you? It's
indeed. Yeah. I try to take some pictures of everyday life, just my own life, but I just find it difficult to share personal stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
On my Instagram, I don't know why.
But I totally feel the same way. Anyway, interesting. Anyway, we're going to do it more. I'm going to maybe. Actually, I say that and I won't. Probably won't. But no.
We can check in again in some months.
Can. That's true. We can, can't we? Hold each other accountable. Yeah, that's funny. Also on the subject of kind of social media and the mobile phone, do you use yours much? And when was the last time you left your phone at home?
Oh, never.
Yeah, same here. literally never. Isn't that? It's quite weird, isn't it? Really, it's
yes.
But yeah, same as you. My wife, I think
I use it too much.
Yeah, I get that. My wife is trying to have a detox from using her phone because she's using it about 5 hours a day, I think, and she had 120 pickups in a day a couple of days ago, which is a lot, I guess. Yeah, how do you feel about that? I mean, I excuse it to myself by saying I'm using it for work purposes a lot, but I don't know. How do you feel? Yeah. It's true though, isn't it? As photographers, it's our business is kind of online, so we do have a bit of an excuse, but I don't know. Is it a bit of an addiction for you as well, or?
Yes, it is, definitely. I would just start scrolling and finding myself, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah,
it's so true. Do you do it kind of last thing before going to bed and first thing when you wake up in the morning as well?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
definitely.
I do as well. It's a modern thing.
Yeah, and actually I sometimes complain to my kids that they use too much screen time. And their excuse is, but you're having your phone yourself in your hands. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That is so true, isn't it? It's so true.
Mine is for work.
Yes, we've got excuses, children. That's funny. Yeah, but like you though as well. I've never left my phone at home. I've never been without it going out, even just for a 20-minute dog walk or something. I always have it with me.
Yes. The only time where I actually leave it, that is when I'm shooting. It's in my bag.
Okay.
So I also always forget to take behind the scenes at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm in a shoot, I'm in a shoot.
Well, that's good. Proper concentrating then. Yeah, that's good. What do you mean with the behind the scenes? Or you would sometimes take behind the scenes of you working type things, or?
Yes, or where you are, if you're at a wedding or... stuff like that to share on your stories. I often forget.
Yes, and me. I think when Instagram stories first came out a few years ago, for the first couple of weddings, I did, and that was it. And then I forgot about it. Actually, Yeah, it's true. Should do it more though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting about the phone. Is interesting. I enjoy it as well though. People say, get off your phones, but I enjoy it as well. So I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice to go for maybe a detox holiday, like a weekend without your phone or something.
Yes,
but that would make me
be really good.
Yeah, but it makes me anxious even the thought of being without my phone, I think. But maybe I've got a problem.
It's not that bad. I actually have one colleague. She does it every Sunday with her family. Then in the afternoon, they don't use screens. And I've mentioned it here at home. We should do it too. But
yeah. All the should haves. I'm just like you in the should have. But that's a nice idea to have a set time, like Sunday afternoon, no devices.
Yes.
We played a board game as a family recently, and that was really nice, actually. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Old school entertainment. That was fun. It was the Super Mario version of Game of Life board game. I don't know if do you know the Game of Life board game? No.
Yes, I know. I don't know. It was one of my favorites as a kid. We don't have it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I loved it as a kid as well. But so there's a Super Mario version of it, of Game of Life. Yeah, it is actually really good, actually. It's really good. I recommend that. If anyone's tuning in for board game recommendations, then yes, Super Mario Game of Life. Yes, cool. I think maybe I'll do that on the Sunday afternoons. Do you have any kind of like family traditions? Like every Sunday we do have a Sunday family roast, which is a bit of a tradition. Do you have any family traditions like that?
No, actually not.
No. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Mine is only that roast, and that's just because I really enjoy. I love eating roasts. So the only way we would have it is if I cook it. So yeah, all good. Do you do much of the cooking? I do. I don't know why I'm on this subject, but whilst on it, I do all the cooking for a family. So do you do much cooking?
I think it's about 50-50.
Wow, that is good.
In periods where I really am busy, my husband takes more over. At times where I have more time, it will be me doing the cooking. And sometimes we actually order such boxes with all the ingredients for like 3 or 5 days of food with just some recipes you just have to follow.
Nice. That sounds really good. I've never tried that kind of thing, but that does sound good.
It's cool when you don't have to use time on thinking what should we eat again and again and again.
That is true. I think because I do all the cooking, we eat virtually the same things every week because I've got like no imagination when it comes to cooking, and I'm an awful cook, honestly. When I say I do the cooking, it's basically just putting stuff in the oven, really. Yeah, I should get better, but I quite enjoy it as well. My wife gets very stressed with the timings of cooking, so that's why I quite enjoy it. So that's why I do it, really. She does loads of other stuff in the house. Yeah, it's not like she just sits down. Yeah, no, she does loads of things. Anyway, sorry. Actually, it's interesting. We spoke very early on. You spoke about, I think, your father having a good job, and you spoke about maybe the kind of the social pressure about doing something creative that maybe doesn't have a lot of money attached to it. Yes. And my wife is very much, she's been like that her whole life. Like her family are doctors, they're all doctors, and she's been in a job she's not enjoyed for a long time, and she gets so stressed about it. But recently, last week, she's handed in her notice in, which is great. So she's going to be finishing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say, how it's such a good thing, isn't it, to do that? And money is not the most important thing in life at all.
It is important, but not the most important. But not having money is also pretty hard. So COVID was pretty harsh.
Yeah. How was that time for you guys? And was it a difficult time?
It had its good sides. More time spending with my boys here at home, and actually, especially with my oldest, finding out what his struggles are at school.
Okay.
So I could help him, and we went through a lot of mathematics.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's handy. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I guess it was quite easy for you to homeschool as your history of from teaching then.
It's easier to teach other children that are not your own.
I bet that is true. Yeah.
My patience can be... it was a good training of my patience.
That's a very kind of diplomatic way of saying it. Yeah, that is good. I like that.
Yes.
That's funny. Yes, cool. Anyway, that was good. I like talking about that. Jess, let's go on to back to your family work. And what do you find the most challenging aspect of family photography? What is the most difficult part of it all? Whether that's something to do with shooting or the business side of it, what's the most challenging?
I think it's the business part.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Did you ever have any? Did you ever have? Sorry,
Yeah,
did you have any? Oh, you did business. Oh, was that the mentoring with Joshua or other things? Or?
No, with Joshua it was mostly photography, because at that stage where I was at that time, that was the most important.
Yeah.
We did talk about some business-related stuff too, but then I also did a group mentoring about marketing, business, branding, and really, really helped a lot.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Was that an online thing, was it, or physical?
Yes, it was online through the DFP.
Great, cool. That sounds great, because I think a lot of photographers coming to this they think that all they have to do is make good photos, but it's so not the case, is it? The business side is just as important as the photography side.
If not more important.
Yes, I know, that is so true. Yeah, if not more important. It's true.
It's annoying, but...
Yes, but it is a fact of what we do. That's true. I enjoy both, I have to say. I do enjoy both sides, which is kind of lucky that way.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, cool. Jess, I read that you're a member of Spectrum Inspired. Is that right? I was trying to use the Google Translate on your website, but I think that's what it said. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's a group that helps people with autistic children to get a photographer by. It's mostly located in the USA. So I've never actually been contacted in Denmark to do such kind of shoot, even I would really love to. I think documentary work, it really fits well when you have autism in the family.
Right, okay. I see there's quite a few kind of stories that have been submitted to this Reportage Family to do with autism as well. I find it very interesting. My wife she's just quit her NHS job, but also privately, she actually diagnoses autism. That's her job in children. Yes. So I find it very, very interesting. It
is. We have, we think one of our kids is on the spectrum.
Right, okay.
So it has been a part of our daily life, doing research about it, and it got integrated in our daily life, you can say.
Right, sure. And that's great to be part of that Spectrum Inspired then. And I didn't know that was something like that existed. I think that's a really lovely service. Because it can really help to just documenting. It can really help just to build awareness throughout the world, isn't it, as well? It's so important just to, I just don't,
it does.
It is really important. Have you ever watched, I find it a very beautiful series though on Netflix. Have you ever watched Love on the Spectrum?
No, I haven't. I should.
Oh, honestly, it's beautiful. It's a reality TV series in Australia, based with autistic people, and it's so beautiful. Honestly, it's really, really, really great. Yeah,
we'll really have to look to it.
Cool. So, yes, cool. Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah, I think generally our work really fits well to tell also other kind of stories that are not normal family related. I'm doing a project for what do we call it? A group that is made for NF. It's a disease, a genetic disease.
Oh, okay.
And they want to get more awareness about this. So they contacted me to make a photo project together with them.
Right, gosh.
So, and I know a lot of photographers into documentary work do personal projects too, or commercial projects, just to get more awareness on all different aspects of life. And I really love about that in our work.
That is very cool, and it's just so meaningful. Obviously, I'm talking. It's so inspiring talking to you that and that kind of thing. And it always makes me think, because I predominantly shoot weddings. I do family shoots as well, but I predominantly shoot weddings. And the stuff that you're talking about there is just so much more meaningful. Obviously, weddings are important, but they're important. But what you're talking about is just so much more meaningful and so much.
Yes.
It just makes me think I'm not doing.
I love
enough
a combination.
Well. Yes, that's good. You're doing it all. You see, I need to do. I need to do more. Honestly, in these podcasts, I need to do more things, I think. But we can't do everything, can we? We can't do everything.
No, we can't. But when the opportunities come, you sometimes just have to grab them.
That is true, isn't it? Yeah. How did those people find out about you? Did they just contact you, seeing your family work?
Yeah. Yes, on my Instagram.
That's cool. Well, that's really good. That's great, Jess. Okay, Jess, let's go to a technical one as well. We don't often talk about technical stuff, but semi-technical. But do you have a favorite lens or a favorite focal length for your family work specifically? Do you? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
For family work, it definitely is 35.
Right. Cool. Nice. Yeah. Oh, is it different for your wedding work?
Not much.
No, that's funny. That's cool. So what is it about the 35 mil that you like? Oh, sorry. Go on.
What I like about 35 is you can get close without getting all the wonky distortions.
Yeah. Right. Cool.
I like to work. Even it was a challenge for me to come really close. I like the distance working with 35 and what you can get into the scene. But I also use sometimes my 85. I mix it up to make it more interesting visually.
Yes, I think that's important, isn't it? Yeah. That kind of variety as well. Yeah. That's cool.
But I don't even own 70-200 millimeter, for example.
No, cool. So I used to, when I started my weddings, I used to have that lens. Yeah, I guess, and I don't know, I liked it at the time, but now I shoot about 80% at 25 mil actually. So. Like you, I like to get close. It's
yes. Yeah. I think the longest I have is 135.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. And what camera bodies are you using? Are you Canon or Nikon, Sony?
I'm Canon, the 5D 4 and 3.
Nice.
So I'm still on the DSLR.
Well, they're still great cameras, though, aren't they?
It is.
I went from a 7D to the 5D3. I used the 5D3 for years, and it's super camera. I love that.
It is.
Very cool. Very cool. Do you have any, because you're getting quite close to your families and wedding, when you do weddings as well, but you with the 35 mil, you have to be quite close. Do you have any tips or advice on, especially with your family work, like enabling them to just be themselves, because you're quite close and around them? Do you talk to them beforehand about that you will be working close, for example, or
yes.
Do you have,
but I don't talk too much about it, so they don't get too much aware of it up front.
Okay.
But I will always, when I come into a family, I will always start to talk and connect, and that will flow spontaneously in me picking up my camera. And often kids are actually pretty interested in the camera, so they come pretty close themselves very fast, small kids, to look at it, and I allow them. Then I put it away again and try to get them into their activity just by talking, or show me your toys or whatever.
That's cool.
And then when kids allow you very close, parents also relax.
That's cool. Well, that's great to hear. Do you ever show them photos on the back of the camera of themselves or anything? Do you ever do that?
Normally not. Sometimes I would do with some kids, depending on how much interest they have into the camera. But it's also dangerous to do because then they want to watch all the time.
That makes sense. Yes, of course. Yeah, that's true.
Then I just tell them, you know what? Your mom is going to get all the pictures. You will be able to see yourself. Yeah. Because otherwise they will keep on coming.
Yeah, that is so true. I not even thought of that, but that is so true, isn't it? Yeah. And do you ever get, I guess you must have experience of it, but sometimes people or kids and adults who you think maybe are just more camera aware, or they're maybe just performing a little bit more. Do you ever have to?
Yes, definitely.
You do. Cool. Do you ever say to them, like, just be yourselves or mention it? Or do you just, I don't know, how do you handle those kind of situations?
I don't put words on it because that would make them even more aware.
Right. Okay.
I just go with the flow, and I'm thinking if they're not able to relax enough, even I do the best from my side with not posing, then that's probably what they want.
That's so true.
And maybe they have it easier the next time. But sometimes, especially when it are more generations, like grandparents too, when I can feel that they're posing in a way, you know the sentence "getting lifestyle," do you?
Yes, right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then I would ask, you know what, we can do some portraitures at the end of your session. We can go out to find a nice location if that is what you want, and that will help them to relax back into the normal session because they know, okay, we will check that off.
That makes total sense. That is really good advice to say and do that. That makes sense. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's great bits of advice there as well. I think that's really cool. It is though, Oh, Jess, it's been so fun talking to you. Really enjoyed it.
Yes, it was.
It's gone quickly, hasn't it? So yeah, it's almost an hour already. It's gone quick.
Oh, time goes fast.
I know. When you're having fun. That was fun. That was really fun. So we've got time for, time for one more question, if that's okay with you.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, should go with the big one. Let's go for a big one.
Oh.
But just if someone was just starting sorry, I can't even talk. Sorry, it's not very good being a podcast. I can't speak. Okay, if someone was just thinking about, beginning their journey as a documentary family photographer specifically. They're just starting out. They know that the documentary family photography work is what they love and what appeals to them. Would you have any advice for them starting out? What would be any bits of tips or thoughts or advice of someone who's just starting out?
The first one would definitely be to connect to a photographer whose work you really like and ask for a mentoring.
That's cool.
Options, because I really think that it really helped me a lot.
That's great.
And also get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you're going to push boundaries personally and work-wise.
That's good advice as well. That's so true. We're always doing things that kind of scare us, I think, as photographers.
Yes, we do.
It's true, isn't it? No, that's great bit of advice. And with finding a mentor, especially, do you really recommend? So finding, I think you said it really, but there are two ways of looking at it. Some people proactively look for photographers who are offering mentoring, who advertise mentoring, and then there are other people who just approach people whose work they love. And is that, which would you recommend? Which?
I would recommend the second. You really need to find someone you feel about their work and their approach, and also about their personality. So because you go quite deep into mentoring sessions. It's really personal, so it definitely should be someone you feel comfortable with and trust to show all the crap you shoot.
Right. Yeah, that's a big deal.
I would really go for someone you like and whose work you like. And when you start to be comfortable in your own work, you definitely can also work with someone who you maybe personally connect less with, when you're not as sensitive anymore about critique about your own work.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Were you, was that difficult for you at the beginning to open yourself up to critique?
I think the bless was that I actually started the mentoring right away.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, and with Joshua, it really went fluently, so...
that must be different if you're a few years down the line and you've built up all that work. Yeah. That's true. Yes. A very good thing to do. Great bits of advice there, Jess. Really, really great bits of advice. And this whole conversation, I've really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you. You've been awesome.
You thanked.
Oh, that's really nice. Fun. I didn't ask you about as well on you said about you live in the land of, is it Hygge? Is it Hygge?
Hygge.
Hygge, yes. Oh, okay,
yes.
Cool.
It's a Danish word, you cannot translate it.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's coziness. It's all about coziness.
Okay. So like kind of nice kind of family time together and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Is it a kind of overall
and with
concept?
friends.
Is it the type of thing?
Yes, it is. It's really known for, there even exists a book about it.
Okay.
It's all about spending time together with friends, with family, just sitting in the couch with the hot cup of cacao.
Hot chocolate, cocoa,
hot
hot
chocolate,
cocoa.
yes.
Yeah, hot chocolate. Okay.
So it has different aspects.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Not on your mobile phones, though. Not on the mobile phones.
No.
No.
Don't we?
Oh, we do. Oh, awesome, Jess. Thank you so much for chatting to me. And people listening now, do head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com. I'll include a link through to Jess's site and that Reportage Family Awards you spoke about, the duck in a bath image, which I don't know, I've christened it that. Well, it's obvious why I've christened it that, because it's a boy with a duck in the bath. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, it's super talking to you, Jess, and hopefully I'd love to meet you one day. I'd love to go to Denmark one day, and you're very welcome if you ever come down to England, to Cornwall as well. It'd be cool.
Yes, I will, and maybe at one of the gatherings among photographers.
That would be great. It'd be so cool to meet you. Well, have a good week.
Yes, the same for you, Anna. Thank you for reaching out.
Oh, thank you for coming on. It's been fun talking to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 102nd episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. Love talking to Jess. Hope you enjoyed it too. Head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com to see the specific Reportage Family Award that she spoke about, and a link to her website too. We now have 102 episodes of the podcast available, where we speak to wedding and family photographers from all over the world, delve into our back catalogue to hear from the likes of Sandra Stockmans, Alice Chapman, Laura Beth Davidson, Marina Meadows, Christian Levin, David Scholes, Sanna de Block, The Framers, Roluce, Stan Morris, Rocio Vega, Barbara Puchta, and many more. If you're not a member of This Reportage or This Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. We're currently judging the first award collections of 2022. Looking forward to revealing the results soon. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.